1580.
We all agree that America has a very serious problem.
Okay, KBLA delegation, we need your help as we launch our 2024 Climate Justice Campaign. We would deeply appreciate you going to our KBLA 1580 website and filling out a short climate justice survey, which will help us better serve our beloved community as we build out this campaign. It'll take you just a few short minutes to complete the online survey, and the information you provide us will be invaluable as we do our part to hold folk accountable and amplify the voices of our people in this climate conversation. When you take the survey, you'll be automatically entered to win seats at our annual Black History Month luncheon, Thursday, February 29th. So, hit our website at KBLA 1580. Help us out by taking the short climate justice campaign survey, and you could be our guest at our annual Black History Month luncheon, Thursday, February 29th. Thank you in advance for your consideration and cooperation. At KBLA Talk 1580, we care about the community, we care about the climate. We care about the climate.
You ready?
Come on! It's the queen of royal badness.
It's time for the Raw Report with Robin Ayers.
Highlighting people and things you should know about.
Robin's got you covered. Follow Robin at Robin Ayers. You're listening to the Raw Report on KBLA Talk 1580.
Robin's got a lot to talk about.
They saw what I saw. They would fall the way I felt, but they don't know what you want. And baby, I would never tell. If they knew what I know, they would never let you go. So guess what? I ain't never letting you go. 'Cause your lips were made for mine, and my heart would go flatline if it wasn't beating for you all the time. So if I get
You are inside the Raw Report on KBLA Talk 1580, where we bring you the latest in entertainment news, trending topics, and interviews. I'm your host, Robin Ayers, with you guys Monday through Friday. Happy Friday, 6 to 7 p.m. Listen, if you are in Los Angeles, it is wild, okay? I don't know what's up with the traffic, but it's wild, okay? I passed 2 different accidents on the 405 today. Hopefully they are doing okay, but yeah, that was really a lot to see. So be safe out there. I hope you guys are doing wonderful, getting ready to go into the weekend. Wow, there is a lot going on. It's a birthday. There's a birthday today. Do you know whose birthday it is? It's somebody's birthday today, y'all. Happy birthday. There's just so much going on. We have a great show lined up today. I've actually been wanting to talk about this particular conversation today because I saw it a few days ago, and sure enough, you know, if you're anywhere on social media, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. There's a few videos that had gone viral for the most part, and this particular woman, Kim Burrell, specifically, we're going to talk about her today. She came out of nowhere once again, but she had been in the media. She had been in the media with some things that people just weren't necessarily happy about. We're going to talk about her again today. We're also going to talk about Juanita Bynum today because people are calling them out. It is no joke. We're going to get this conversation started on the other side. We've got a wonderful contributor with us. It is Friday. We feel good. Andy is playing great music. We're going to get to it all on the other side. You're listening to the Raw Report on KBLA Talk 1580.
Hey, I'm Damian Young. I'm chilling with Robin on the Raw Report.
You're inside the Raw Report with Robin Ayers on KBLA Talk 1580.
Climate is king.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we believe that caring for the community means caring about the climate. You might have heard that we announced a pretty bold 12-month, $2 million campaign to do 4 things. Increase climate literacy, turn up the volume on communities of color in the climate conversation, connect everyday people with the resources they need to survive and thrive, and highlight frontline climate justice crusaders of color throughout this year. KBLA Talk 1580 will be bringing you insightful interviews on all of our shows to help raise your climate IQ. Each quarter this year, we will also be hosting free climate events in various communities throughout the city with food, fun, and forward-thinking conversations. Thanks to partners like LADWP, Metro, Caltrans, the Sierra Club, the California Community Foundation, the California Endowment, AQMD, MWD, and more. You'll also be hearing more about a couple of national town halls broadcasting live from Los Angeles, to which you will be invited. And we'll be rolling out a robust social media campaign on all our platforms, as well as an outdoor media campaign, all designed to educate, enlighten, and empower you in our fight for climate justice.
We want cleaner air.
Caring about the community means caring about the climate. At KBLA Talk 1580, we believe that we really can change the world if we care enough.
Yeah, we're replacing the carpets too, so don't worry about that.
No fresh powder yet, but Dan's ski lodge has an avalanche of projects.
Those 4 rooms are getting hot tubs.
He needs a staff engineer to navigate a flurry of new requests.
And all of those will be fully ADA accessible.
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
If we're the ones disproportionately impacted by these climate catastrophes, why should we be silent? Turning up the volume all year long on the climate conversation for KBLA Talk 1580.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With Venture X, earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy and turn everyday purchases into extraordinary trips. Plus, receive premium travel benefits like access to over 1,300 airport lounges where you just check in and chill out. Open up a world of possibilities with Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Granddad, what's good?
Hey there, got us a quarter pounder with cheese and McNuggets.
Wow, haven't had our special McDonald's order in a minute.
Heard your little tic-tac-toe dance didn't get no likes.
Oh man, is Mom telling everybody?
You know she is.
There's a deal for every favorite grandson at McDonald's. Right now, get one favorite like a quarter pounder with cheese or 10-piece chicken McNuggets and get another for just $1. Price and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer. Valid for item of equal or lesser value.
Giving you your daily dose of entertainment and celebrity news.
You're inside the Rob
Report. With Robin Ayers on KBLA Talk 1580.
All right. I am looking forward to getting with this conversation today. Today we have Miles Blockson on the line with us, joining the Rob Report. I feel like it's been a minute, Miles.
It has. How are you?
I am well. It was good to speak with you earlier today. That's always, it feels like we're back in synergy. You know what I'm saying? Like we're back.
Yes.
So, and as always, I really love having you on. And I know that you already know what these conversations are about, and I'm looking forward to having them. So let's jump right in. So check this out. I'm sure you know, Miles, I think I want to say within the past few years, a few years, Kim Burrell had been in the news for just different things that she had done, and she was not necessarily being nice. And if you don't know who she is, this is gospel artist. She's a gospel giant, okay, in the gospel world, and she's a gospel singer. All kind of people know her and love her for her voice. However, a lot of things had been said about Kim Burrell specifically because she wasn't necessarily doing the things that churchgoers deem, respectful or Christ-like, right?
Right.
And, today was no different in the media. She has been called out again. And I want to play the video for you guys to let you know exactly why people are not happy with Kim Burrell. I'll set the foundation. She was in church, she was singing, and while she was singing, she told someone to stop. But do we have that? Okay, all right. So we'll get to that in just a second. But let me ask you, we know just in general, we do know that a lot of young people, it feels, have stopped going to church. Do you feel like Kim Burrell and Juanita Bynum, which we'll play those clips in a minute, but do you feel like some of that sort of religious behavior and that entitlement and all that is a reason that some of these young people stopped going to church?
Absolutely. I just think there's so many conflicting views and opinions, and I feel like sometimes people will say Bible this and Bible that, but they choose and pick what part of the Bible they want to follow at the moment. So, you know what I mean? And I think that for this newer generation, it's like they want facts. They want things that make sense. They want to follow something that they feel like everybody in this group or this club or whatever you want to call it, if they're a part of something, they want to make sure everybody is moving the same way and doing the same things. And if there's so many people that are not, it's kind of like, to them, I feel like it's kind of like a turnaround. Like, I don't want to be in that. It doesn't seem like y'all are even following the things. The people at the top of the totem pole are not following it. So how does that trickle down to everyone else? And what type of example does it set for everyone else? And are we being good humans at the end of the day? And I think that people are more about that these days than just being in something just to say they're in it, you know?
Yeah, no, that's a great point, because just in general, we've evolved as a society. There's so much happening now that we mentioned recently on the show, men are painting those, people are wearing, they're all the LGBT community. They have completely come out, and they are very happy, and they are loud, and it hadn't historically been accepted really in the church. And I feel like things like this, and that at the same, a lot of churches and a lot of pastors who have also evolved, and they have opened their doors to everybody, and they really preach that message of Jesus loves everybody. Miles, let's go ahead and listen to this clip. The first one we're going to play is from Kim Burrell, who is, again, she stopped the lady from singing with her at church. Let's just take a listen to it.
Brothers, we wearing our pants too tight. Them little bitty suits is worrying me. Them ones that's high waters is cut all up in here too.
Hold on. Let me preface that. That one is actually, so there's two clips. There's one that's Juanita Bynum. There's another one that's Kim Burrell. So this one is Juanita Bynum. Let's start with, because it's fine. Andy, do we have Juanita, or do we have? Right. Okay. So let's go ahead and let me preface Juanita Bynum. So basically she is, I don't need to preface what she's saying. Let's go ahead and take a listen to Juanita Bynum.
Brothers, we wearing our pants too tight. Them little bitty suits is worrying me. Them ones that's high waters is cut all up in here too, till we can count how many you got down there. Something is wrong. Little jackets that's too little, look like you just put on little Ray Ray's clothes or something and came to church. Talk to me. Point, even your little dance scare me. The way you shout scare me. Your knees too close. Get nobody to talk to me right there. Maybe I gotta look down here on the monitor, because let me get tipping when you shout. Open up your legs and shout like a man. Y'all better come on here. Like girls and the women. Yeah.
I'm laughing. It's really nothing to laugh about. I'm actually really mad when I listen to this. She is a pastor. She's been around for years, and she's from globally, as a matter of fact. She has done a lot of work, and some would call her, anointed and appointed and holy and all that stuff. But when we listen to this clip, though, Miles, where she's calling out men for how they dress, she's calling out men for how they're worshiping, and she's talking about stance. Does that sound like very condescending? It sounds like she's putting her out.
Like she's a comedian and not a pastor. That's what it sounds like. It's like, what the video too, it's like, what if somebody came to her and said, you had a lot of masculine energy in that video? Flipped the table and said that to her, because to some men, she might move very masculinely. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like one of those things. It's like you're judging a group of people for the way that they dress, right? And to me, it seems like she's a bit out of touch, because fashion changes, right? Right now we're going through a phase where that is what the type of clothing that she's describing is acceptable. Is she touched? Does she not know? And like, is she even thinking about how to cross? And why would you belittle your congregation? You know what I mean? Like that's shaming somebody, humiliating someone. It's like, again, it goes back to, are we picking and choosing what we decide to take from the Bible? You know,
great
because you're
point.
supposed to be kind. You're supposed to treat people the way you would like to be treated.
Yeah, absolutely.
But instead, it's coming across a whole nother way. Like, that's spiteful, that's mean, that's rude, that's not okay. What about the person in the congregation that did fit the description she was talking about? How do you think they feel? Came to get a good word that day, but they left feeling, you know, not good about themselves, or maybe second guessing higher that day.
Yeah.
Like, that's not all right. That's not okay.
I agree with you. I mean, it's interesting because when I take a listen to, and I watch that clip, actually, if I watch it, you can see all the members of the congregation just hyping her up and just preach, you know. And that's scary to think that if you were one of those people, one of the guys she's describing, if you're sitting in there in that congregation, how do you react? I mean, do you feel judged? Do you feel like you should, you know, you should jump on in there too, just to not make yourself feel like you're the odd one out? I mean, it's a really strange situation to be in. What's funny is I wasn't always saved, Miles. You know, I lived a life before I joined the church.
Okay, Robin.
I'm just kidding. I wasn't out there thugging or nothing. But I will say that I joined the church in my 20s. I was probably 23, 24 years old. And a life before church, I didn't have to worry about, you know, my Sunday's best and, you know, all of that. And so what I did was I wore my same from what was good, you know, quality clothes to me, but may have been like club wear or, you know, something you would wear to an event or something like that. And I wore those same type of clothes to church. Now, what was good about me is I'm very observant. I was able to go and be like, okay. And I was just changing things as I was going along because I'm seeing, okay, all right, well, maybe what I'm wearing is a little bit too tight or a little too short or whatever. But I was able to I noticed and I observed for myself, and I was able to change for myself. And so that made me feel comfortable. But I'll never forget in a church that I was attending, and there were some of the guys, two times actually, we had been approached, my husband and I, when I finally did get married. One of the guys approached him about wearing a hat. And it wasn't like a baseball hat, or it was more like a fedora, or I don't know, something like that. He was the guy told him, he was sort of an elder in the church, and then my husband also had on shorts, and he was like, you should know better, you know, kind of came at him like that for some I mean, he was totally, in my opinion, he was dressed appropriately. I mean, for summertime, being at church, you know what I mean, where there wasn't necessarily a dress code. But he actually had the nerve to kind of call him out, you know, step to him and call him out. And I was livid. And I was like, you know, it's that type of thing that is, you know, is not okay. And there are people who come into the church who are dressed a certain kind of way, and they want to feel seen. So they're looking for people who are wearing shorts, or looking for people who are, you know, wearing hats or something, so that they can feel like they're not alone, if that makes sense.
Yeah. You should be able to just come as you are, right? We're all coming for a message. Are we coming for appearance? Are we coming for appearance? Are we looking at each other like that? Because that's defying the purpose of church. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You worried about the wrong thing if you're worried about my husband's hat.
Yeah.
You worried about the wrong thing if you're worrying about what I'm wearing. Like, you should worry, am I okay? Am I happy in my life? Am I mentally stable?
Absolutely.
You know, do I feel prosperous? Am I abundant? Like, am I having a good life? Am I okay? Like, we're worried about the wrong things.
You preaching over here.
Doing stuff like that.
No dress code. However, if you really believe the Bible, and if you know the Bible, God's word says it's the same yesterday, today, and forever. And what that means is no matter how the time changes and we accept everything in society, if you really believe in heaven and hell, there are some prerequisites that you have to live. And so, yeah, we can change and wear this and that. But the bottom line is, God wants us to love people and to share the gospel. And if you really want to go to heaven, you're going to have to follow the Bible. You can't make up and accept what the society says is okay and think that you're going to get to heaven. So I just want to caution us about that,
Mm-hmm.
And you should know the Bible for yourself. You should
Definitely.
listen to all these preachers, know what the Word says, and know how to relate to God. And if you do that, and if you really believe the Bible, you will make it. But just because it's accepted, don't think that God has changed what he said in his Word, because he hasn't. Okay,
that's a whole word. Well, I appreciate you, Cheryl, so much. Thank you for your comment. I do have a question though before we let you go. Regarding what Juanita Bynum was saying about men and how they're dressed, or even if she were talking about women, is there a way to properly talk to someone if you felt like they weren't dressed appropriately or overexposed or anything like that? Do you feel like there's a way, or should you just let people? Like I said, I found out just by being observant, and I started, to evolve and become more of a woman, a well-dressed woman. Or do you think there is a way to politely go to someone without being mean-spirited in the church?
You know what? Absolutely. I'm going to go to my grandmother. It's like you can win people with love and kindness. By embarrassing people and all of that, you're not going to win anybody over. And certainly that's not what God calls us to do, because you're not going to win anybody to Christ by being mean or embarrassing or, saying something that's hateful. And if I could also say this, as far as Juanita Bynum, I stopped listening to her 20 years ago when she came out and with this husband or something. It's like we need to be careful who we take words from and let's pray for us. Because all these people in the pulpit, unless you really have a relationship with God, you have to know that these people are not real. They're just out for what, publicity. And she is one of those, I was prompt to say,
Yeah, okay.
All
right.
She could definitely have said that another way. And, and as far as Burrell, like I said, we just have to stay close to God and just look at all these people from afar and know who to believe and who to trust.
Well said. Well said. Well, again, we thank you so much, Cheryl, for calling in to the Rob Report. We definitely appreciate that. And I hear your point. So thank you again. Enjoy your evening.
You too. Keep up the good work, Robin.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Well, when we come forward, Miles, we still got to hear from Burrell. We still got to hear what she said, and there's a little caveat here that I do want to mention from her as well. It's all regarding this same topic though, but I kind of want to really try to see if we can figure out what needs to happen, and is that mean-spiritedness going away? Is it what's happening with it, and what can change in the church to bring people back to God? Okay, that's what it's all about. At the end of the day, that's what it's all about. So we'll talk about that on the other side. Right now, we've got news, traffic, and sports. You're listening to the Rob Report on KBLA Talk 1580. Stay there.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's your boy Lil Real. Right now, I'm hanging out with Robin on the Rob Report. That's right.
More of the Raw Report with Robin Ayers when we come forward.
I'm Tyreek Wynn. Here's the latest on the Black Information Network. The Atlanta Falcons are hiring Los Angeles Rams defense coordinator Raheem Morris, who's black, as their head coach. ESPN is reporting Morris will take over for Arthur Smith, who was fired after the team finished 7-10 this season. Morris returns to Atlanta, where he was on staff for 5 years before taking over as interim head coach the last 11 games of the 2020 season. The first trailer is being released for Prime Video comedy Ricky Stanicky. The film follows three friends who invented a fake fourth friend years ago as a scapegoat for their mistakes as an excuse to avoid responsibilities. One of the mother-in-laws catches on to their little act and hires an X-rated rock and roll impersonator, played by John Cena, to pose as a fake friend, Ricky Stanicky. The cast also includes Zac Efron, Andrew Sanito, Jermaine Fowler, and William H. Macy. Ricky Stanicky hits Prime Video on March 7th. That's the latest. I'm Tyreek Wynn on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network.
Hope you're enjoying your Friday night. Drive safe. Over in Koreatown, a structure fire continues to have all lanes blocked back on South Catalina Street at West 4th. Right now, there's no estimated time of when this area will be cleared, but you can expect some stop traffic flow in this area. Sepulveda Pass has a signal that is now cleared and all lanes are reopened from an earlier crash on the 405 South after the Mulholland Skirball Center Drive split, and watch for a slight slowdown from the 101 in recovery. Your drive through Hollywood's 101 South between Gower Street and Mission Road is still running heavy over 20 minutes. minutes. In Anaheim Hills on the 241 North before the 91, watch for stop traffic from Windy Ridge Toll Plaza over 20 minutes as a crash is currently on the right lane.
Got issues with youth or high school sports? Positive Coaching Alliance can help. PCA, a national nonprofit, offers more than 1,000 free online resources for youth and high school sports coaches, parents, students, and administrators. Visit PCADevZone.org.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
A slight change in the odds for Sunday's AFC and NFC championship games. Baltimore is now a 4-point favorite over Kansas City. Apparently, the return of Baltimore tight end Mark Andrews from an injury is worth an extra point. Noon kickoff on CBS. The 49ers are now a 7.5-point favorite over Detroit in the NFC title game. The half point is based on the possibility of versatile wide receiver Deebo Samuel making enough progress from a shoulder injury to play on Sunday. 3:30 kickoff on Fox. Snoop Dogg has a movie out today on Amazon Prime called The Underdogs. The film was inspired by the work he's done with his Snoop Youth Football League. It's about a group of kids in Long Beach trying to learn about life from a wacky former pro football player. 4 years ago today, January 26th, we lost the brilliant Kobe Bryant. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
We all agree that America has a very serious problem.
Okay, KBLA delegation, we need your help as we launch our 2024 Climate Justice Campaign. We would deeply appreciate you going to our KBLA 1580 website and filling out a short climate justice survey, which will help us better serve our beloved community as we build out this campaign. It'll take you just a few short minutes to complete the online survey, and the information you provide us will be invaluable as we do our part to hold folk accountable and amplify the voices of our people in this climate conversation. When you take the survey, you'll be automatically entered to win seats at our annual Black History Month luncheon, Thursday, February 29th. So, hit our website at KBLA 1580. Help us out by taking the short Climate Justice Campaign survey, and you could be our guest at our annual Black History Month luncheon, Thursday, February 29th. Thank you in advance for your consideration and cooperation. At KBLA Talk 1580, we care about the community, we care about the climate.
Eggs are a staple in our diets, and there's only one egg with more delicious farm-fresh taste plus superior nutrition. Eggland's Best. With more vitamins, including 6 times more vitamin D and 10 times more vitamin E, plus 25% less saturated fat than ordinary eggs. Available in so many delicious varieties. Classic, cage-free, and organic. Eggland's Best. Better taste, better nutrition, better eggs.
This is KBLA Talk 1580, home of the 2024 Climate Justice Campaign. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. Legal Aid Foundation of Los Angeles is a nonprofit law firm that protects and advances the rights of the most underserved, leveling the playing field and ensuring that everyone can have access to the justice system. Every year, LAFLA provides free, high-quality legal services to more than 100,000 people living in poverty across greater Los Angeles. Their unique combination of neighborhood offices, self-help centers at courthouses, and domestic violence clinics puts Legal Aid Foundation of Los Angeles on the front lines in vulnerable communities and at the forefront of change. LAFLA's expert team of attorneys, paralegals, and support staff works to provide direct representation, offer counsel and advice, provide referrals, and educate the community about their legal rights through workshops and seminars. With locations all over LA, you can access their services or volunteer to help no matter where you live. And if you have an urgent issue, call 213-235-0060. That's 213-235-0060. To get legal help, make a donation, or volunteer, visit LAFLA.org. LAFLA.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Keeping you informed about what's really going on. Who's got next? And what not to miss in entertainment. You're listening to The Rob Report on KBLA Talk 1580.
You are inside the Raw Report on KBLA Talk 1580. Welcome on in. Welcome on in. We are having a great conversation with Miles Bloxon, our contributor of the day. Happy Friday to you all. I hope you're having a lovely Friday and that you are making your way into a relaxing, chill type of weekend. I don't know what you're planning on doing this weekend, but whatever it is, I hope it's off to a great start. Miles, I have a question over here that I started in our YouTube chat because Whoopi Goldberg stirred the pot a little bit. She says that you cannot be friends with your kids. A lot of people agree and a lot of people disagree. I need to know, where do you stand? Can you be friends with your kids? Is it yes, no, or maybe when they become a certain age?
I think you definitely can. Like me and my mom and my dad, we are like the best of friends. We've been the best of friends since I can remember. But I also respected them so much because they were my parents at the same time. So I think that you just have to put certain boundaries in place so that you can have a balanced relationship like that. I don't think everybody is capable of doing that. I think that it's a very hard thing to do as a parent, but I definitely think that it's possible to have a safe balance.
I agree with you, and I like that. I like that answer a lot. My twins, they're only 17, but I consider them friends. We're friends. We are. I mean, of course, there is a healthy boundary. They do 100% understand mama and daddy, right? They understand when we say something, we mean what we say. However, we have been friends, and I feel like you can have a healthy friendship with your children, and it doesn't necessarily have to be when they become adults. So that's where I stand on it. Right now, some of you, or most of you actually, say inside the poll that maybe when they become adults, you guys can be friends. We'll see. We'll see. Yeah, we'll leave that up there. Okay, Kim Burrell. Kim Burrell, who she's been called arrogant. People have called her just mean-spirited, of course, and all kinds of things that you wouldn't necessarily you wouldn't want to be called those things if you are a woman of God and you are a leader in the church. You wouldn't want to be called those things, but she has been time and time again for different things that she's said in the past. And again, this recent situation is no different. Now, I want to be fair. There is the clip that we are going to play, but then there is a part 2 of that same day. Okay, so we're going to play the first clip of Kim Burrell and listen to what she says. Wait, I'm sorry.
Behind the scenes, I just want to make sure I got the right clip when she's explaining herself or when she's actually on the pulpit. Singing.
Yes, yes. Okay, so we're gonna play when she's actually singing and when she talks to the lady. The reason, there are a few different clips that this whole Kim Burrell has come out. There are a few different clips, so we're just trying to make sure we want to play the right one. Let's go ahead and take a listen to it.
Lift your hands when I say thank you. It's a solo. God's using me. Don't sing with me right now. Lord, I'm singing alone now. You, ma'am, with that mask. Let that mask work for you. I'm singing alone. Lord, I'll be back. No, I'll call on you when I'm ready.
Now she done shushed the lady in church. She said, "Lady with the mask."
Thank you, Lord, though. That's the part that threw me out.
Oh my goodness, there's so much to that one clip. She said, "Let that mask work for you," telling this lady to hush up and be quiet. Do not sing with me. So much has come from that. Just so that I'm not putting words in your mouth, do you call that a mean spirit? Just off of that one clip.
Oh man. That is so mean. She said, "Let that mask work for you. I'm singing alone. I'll be back." And then thank you.
She said, "I'll be back." She said, "I will be back." And funny enough,
and she said, "I'll call on you. Right. I'll call on you when I'm ready. I'll call on you."
Yeah,
when I'm ready.
That's totally what she said. It's I don't know how that woman must have felt, but let me play, just in all fairness, what came after. She's still on the pulpit, and she actually did go back to the woman She actually did go back to the woman, and this is what she said to her. Let's take a listen to it.
Okay, it's your turn now, okay? You were singing with me earlier. You see how you do? Now, come up here. Come on up here. Hold on. Hit me. Shh. A few minutes ago, I was saying, don't nobody sing with me. I'm talking about thanks to the Lord. I said, I said, I'm singing by myself. My son turned around and said, she said, don't sing. I said, thank you, Lord. Now when you get up here and it's your turn, he said, who, me? Not me. Say, get something in your hand. Oh, thank you. Y'all give her a hand. You gonna do that? You can't have this. That's out. You ready?
All
Just
right.
say, get something in your hand.
Now, here's the funny part about that. Even when she goes back to the lady, she still has a mean spirit about her. She still has that mean spirit about her, and it does not sound good. She's sort of mocking her in front of the whole church. You know, she said even her son turned around and told that lady, don't sing. I'm just not sure. But she did offer up, you know, because she was called out on social media a lot. She did offer up her own explanation of whatever happened, and this is what she said.
What a mighty happy new year, everybody. When I tell you, the year has started just the way we needed it to do. So, here is the narrative. I'm in the middle of ministry, and you know how you close out a sermon? And I'm singing, thank you, Lord. I'm thinking that I'm singing a solo, and you always got that one that has to join you. And I heard her, y'all, and she was singing, and I was just going for it. Thank, ma'am, because I'm operating in the things of the Spirit. Sometimes when I operate publicly, everybody doesn't understand the dispensation of what I operate in. They just see me as Kim, the singer, who's not being the singer, who is not always the singer. I'm the preacher. I'm the person with the gift of the prophetic. But anyway, so I'm sitting there singing, and I keep hearing her. And then the man in front of her said, she's trying to tell you, ma'am. So this was somebody who was disconnected in the service, but it was cool. But if you go further into the video, you're going to see what happened. I pulled her up, and then she went to dancing. What a time we had. I want to tell everybody, COVID is starting to rise again.
Did it make it any better, Miles, in your opinion?
No. I'm the singer, I'm the preacher, I'm Beyonce, I'm the one, I'm the two, I'm the three. Let me tell y'all about my Wikipedia page. Tune in at 5 o'clock on my live show. No, it did not make it better. It doesn't make it better at all.
Yeah, I agree.
Fail.
I agree. Houston, Texas says extremely rude. And Anouk Carswell, absolutely. She said hush. But funny enough, she actually hushed the musicians when she was trying to talk to the lady. She said, hush, hush. I mean, so she was just on a roll. Marcus Atkins says the woman could have been feeling the spirit at the same time. That is probably one of the points that I would focus in on. When you can't say just because you're singing and God is using you that he's not using someone else at the same time, that somebody else isn't feeling the spirit at the same time. So why would you try to silence everybody else as though she's the only one accepted to sing at that time? It doesn't make any sense. I don't know Kim Burrell. I don't know that she's cancelable. I don't necessarily believe in cancel culture, but at this point, we've said it time and time again. What happens with Kim Burrell? Do we just keep letting her, because she's one of the greatest voices in gospel, do we just keep letting her go to churches and preach and do the thing that she does? Or do we say, you know what? We've had enough of you hurting our people, hurting God's people, and we sort of put that to a halt.
I say that we use our discernment and we decide if she serves us anymore or if she no longer serves us. I think that's an individual decision for everybody. But I know dang well, if I'm the woman and I caught the spirit and I was trying to sing along and she told me no, don't call me up later to sing with you. I don't want to sing with you no more. I'm done. The moment has passed.
Yeah. Well said. I'm just not sure, unfortunately, what happens. But I did want to, again, I wanted to make it a point to say that I think things are changing. I hope things are changing for the better. But you have all kinds of these different churches sort of popping up right now. You know, you have sort of alternative, you know, kind of churches where they're like, listen, you don't even need a dress code to come up in here just come as you are, legitimately as you are. You know, you have pastors with tattoos now. You have, speaking of pastors, though, real quick, I'm not going to play the video, but there is a pastor who recently made an announcement because he and his wife are being charged for selling cryptocurrency that they created to their church. And yeah, they made about $3.4 million. And of that, they pocketed $1 million. And he said, half of that money we spent on taxes. We gave it to the government. But the other half, he said they remodeled their bathroom at home. Because God told them to. It didn't go to the church funds? It didn't go to the church funds. He said they did tithe a lot off of the money that was coming in originally, but they are being sued because basically they created this cryptocurrency where there was no out. They said that there was no out, there was no way for the people to make their money back or something like that. So all of their congregants have essentially lost their money, and we're talking millions of dollars here. So they are being sued. And, you know, the reason I bring that up is because, again, you have different kinds of things that I feel like when you hear stories like this, it's turning people away. People are just like, you know what? I'm just going to pray to God. I'll just pray to God and stay home, and we're gonna work that out like that. Andy, let me get your opinion on something, if you don't mind, because I saw the reaction that you had with one of the ladies. Maybe it was Juanita Bynum, and it angered you. Do you feel also like people are leaving the church, or this is mean spirited?
I'm one of them.
You're one of the people who left the church.
100%. You know, people find God and think that they're God themselves. And the Bible tells me, well, if you read your Bible, it tells you that I can say these things. I can do these things. But her explanation, Kim Burrell's explanation, all I heard was ego. And it's and it's just horrible. You know what I mean? And shout out to Cheryl. I appreciate her for calling in, but I also think it's sad that you go to church, right? Because, you know, you're expecting to hear the gospel, to hear the good word or whatnot. And, you know, they always emphasize you still need to read the Bible for yourself, which I agree with. Yeah. Right? But it's just like you would think that these individuals are perfect. I get it. We're human beings. We're not perfect and stuff like that. But it's just stuff like that just it really irks me. And just everything about the church, about the individuals in the church, not everybody, but they tend to have a judgmental spirit, whether they believe it or not, because they know themselves, you know, they probably come from the mud, the bottom or whatnot. Now that they see themselves, you know, living righteous, right? Whether they believe it or not, they tend to be judgmental. They start looking at the next person, and now you want to judge me because of how skinny my jeans are,
right?
For real,
right? Yeah.
But yet they say, "Come as you are."
Right.
Come on now, what's up with all these restrictions and stuff? I got to take off my hat. So what, man? I want to listen to the word. Right. You mad at me listening to Kirk Franklin because he got some secular song and turned to gospel? Man, you better thank Kirk Franklin, because if it wasn't for him, I probably wouldn't even be stopping or even thinking about God. It's just so many layers and so many just. It's crazy.
Can it be redeemed? Do you feel like you could ever get to a place of redemption where you're like, you know what, I can give something a chance?
What, like going back to church?
Yeah.
Church is going to be completely different. I don't feel like I have to go to a building for church. Talking to you, talking to Miles, this is church right here. The chat, that's church.
Wow.
Where there's 2 or 3 gathered, right? This is church. I don't feel like I gotta wake up early in the morning and have to go to a building and be judged or not judged or whatever because I didn't go. Like, come on.
Wow.
People go to church and you know, right after church they gonna smoke their weed. They gonna go function. Oh, but because this person went to church, this person's good. Yeah, right.
Whoa. You know what? Thank you for sharing that, Andy. I know a lot of people who feel the same way as you do. Miles, I'll give you the last word. Do you feel like there is any redemption? Can the church itself be redeemed? Because we've had so many people hurting the people of God.
Ooh, that's a big one. I mean, I think, like I said, it's a personal connection. It's up to you. Like, if you read something, if you process something, if it feels good to your soul, if it brings you joy and it enlightens the knower inside of you and it resonates with you, like Andy said, that is your church. Like, that is what feeds your soul. That is for you. So, I mean, I think it can, but I think that it's going to have to be some things that get changed a little bit around to make it make sense for, for everybody to feel comfortable in those spaces, because I don't want to be in a space that I'm judged for something. I came to feel good, feel better about myself, feel more hopeful,
and learn the
feel
word,
more joy,
hear
feel
the
more
word.
love. Yeah,
Well,
to hear the word, like you said. So if I can't get that, then I don't want to be there.
I agree with you. And it saddens me every time we have conversations like this. It does sadden me to hear where people have come, but it's only because we have been hurt as people of God. We've been hurt by members of the church and not God himself. As I want to shout out my pastors, the Lindsays, Aaron and Adrian Lindsay, and they like to say, don't get mad at don't turn away from Jesus because the customer service representatives got an attitude. I love the way that was said so well. But legitimately, there are some great churches out there. I hope people still give it a chance, even though we have people who we deem as arrogant, mean-spirited, and all of that stuff. I hope we still give it a chance. Miles, really great to be in conversation with you. I can't wait till you come here to LA and get you in the studio with us, and we'll do it all over again. But until then, our next conversation on the Raw Report. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful weekend.
Thank you so much, Robin. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Enjoy your night. All right. Well, when we come forward, we'll finish off the show when we come forward. That's what we'll do on the other side. You're listening to KBLA Talk 1580.
What's going on? What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Denzel Whitaker, and I'm on the Raw Report.
You're inside the Raw Report with Robin Ayers on KBLA Talk 1580.
COVID-19 renter protections are ending for City of Los Angeles tenants. Know your rights and these 3 facts. February 1st is the deadline to pay rental arrears for rent owed from October 1st, 2021 to January 31st, 2023. Residential tenants cannot be evicted without a reason or just cause. You have 5 days to respond to an eviction notice from the court. Learn more at housing.lacity.org. That's housing.lacity.org. Be informed. Be protected. Be at home.
Pizza's here. Oh, great. I'd love some, but I'm worried about my stomach issues.
If you're worried about having diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools, it may not just be stomach issues. It could be a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
It's game day at Jim's house, and the spread is impressive.
Mike's already done some damage with the hot wings, and now he's dropping back and going deep for another slice of pizza.
I sure hope he brought the Pepto.
Mike knows the Pepto-Bismol provides fast 5-symptom relief from unexpected stomach upsets. He's no rookie.
The way he's throwing back those nachos, he's the GOAT.
Be ready for game day with Pepto-Bismol.
When you have nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea.
Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Around here, we don't believe in victimhood. We believe in raising our voices, amplifying black voices in the climate conversation. We're KBLA Talk 1580. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 reminding you that we keep us safe. Pro Football Hall of Famer and urban peace pioneer Jim Brown believed in just that. So he founded the Amera I Can Foundation for Social Change in 1988, focusing on at-risk and high-risk youth in underserved schools and juvenile detention facilities, as well as adult incarceration and reentry initiatives. The core of the Amera I Can program is its 15-chapter life skills curriculum. Mastery of these skills allows individuals to meet their academic academic potential, conform their behavior to acceptable societal standards, and improve the quality of their lives by equipping them with what they need to confidently and successfully contribute to society. Today, the foundation is led by its president, Monique Brown, who has been actively involved in the organization for more than 25 years. The Amera I Can Foundation continues its work in memory of its founder, actor, philanthropist, and NFL legend Jim Brown. To get involved or make a donation, please visit AmeriICanCommunity.partners. That's AmeriICanCommunity.partners. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Giving you your daily dose of entertainment and celebrity news.
You're inside the Raw Report.
With Robin Ayers on KBLA Talk 1580.
It's never fun to have conversations like this where we're talking about church and, we have really been talking about health and mental health and wellness and all of that stuff, and your soul is a part of it, right? But unfortunately, so many people feel that they can't go to church because they're being judged, or they feel as though that's not the place for them, when in actuality you can find some place or develop a relationship with God on your own. Obviously, reading the Bible is always great. Thank you, Sunshine. Definitely a powerful discussion. Marcus says, I think the problem is also that the church was Black people's only escape from our history in this country, and now church is more about appearance and filling buckets. Wow. It's really unfortunate. It's sad. But to Juanita Bynum and to Kim Burrell, I would just ask that they get off of the soapbox and actually preach the word of God and actually have a heart for the people of God and pray beforehand, because God certainly will, touch you and move through you as a vessel, if that is definitely your calling. Thank you so much to Miles Bloxon for calling in to the Rob Report. You guys, we've got some wonderful interviews coming up that I'm very excited about. As you know, February, Black History Month, is right around the corner, and we have some wonderful interviews set up for you. If you are a fan of The Whispers, we have someone who is in collaboration with The Whispers. And award season is coming up. Andy, this is something you and I talking about. We're going to be talking about the award season, and we have with us calling in very soon the vice chair of the NAACP. And this is going to be great because, the awards, the NAACP Image Awards, are right around the corner. So we will ask her all kinds of questions. I have plenty of questions for her. So I'm interested to talk to her and many more as we move into Black History Month. You guys, it has been wonderful. I appreciate all of you. The Raw Squad is in the building up in our YouTube chat. I appreciate you all. Have a wonderful and safe weekend. I'll see you all next week. We're going to get to it and drop some fire like we always do, you guys. I'm your host, Robin Ayers. Remember, today and every day forward, to be a blessing.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Tyreek Wynn. Here's the latest on the Black Information Network. The Atlanta Falcons are hiring Los Angeles Rams defense coordinator Raheem Morris, who's Black, as their head coach. ESPN is reporting Morris will take over for Arthur Smith, who was fired after the team finished 7-10 this season. Morris returns to Atlanta, where he was on staff for 5 years before taking over as interim head coach the last 11 games of the 2020 season. The first trailer is being released for Prime Video comedy Ricky Stanley.